Hey, welcome back, or welcome here if you're new to my channel. Today I was planning to go over with you the official strategy guide for the expansion Cataclysm of World of Warcraft by Bradygames for you. It's a really heavy book. It's really thick. You can see on the pages how thick it is. It's larger than two of my fingers. It's a really big book. You can see Naltharion Deathwing on the front page. I got this book in a really good condition. I would say it's like brand new. It's really glossy and it feels so nice to touch. While the back side has a matte finish. It's really nice to touch as well. You can see even more of Naltharion. A new age has begun. Deathwing's return resulted in massive changes to the world of Azeroth. The Cataclysm reshaped the lands, resulting in the new challenges to any adventurer brave enough to face them. The official strategy guide for World of Warcraft Cataclysm prepares you for all the changes and threats which awaits you and your friends. And we have massive class updates. You get tips for gearing up your level 85 characters for heroic dungeons and tactics you can apply to playing solo or running with a group. New allies, new experiences. 2 new races, the goblins. I love the goblins so much. And the Worgen join the fray, but even the oldest races have updated racial abilities and all new starting zone experiences. The new Azeroth. The changes brought by the Cataclysm opened new regions and changed many older ones. You won't get lost with this guide. It includes maps for every zone of the Eastern Kingdoms, Kalimdon, and the Maelstrom. I know Cataclysm was not a very pleasant experience for a lot of people, since it really changed how the game was. But I had a really nice time playing this expansion. This is the expansion where I really had enough money to play every single month. So I have good memories from that. So this is gonna be a blast. Even though you might not enjoy this expansion, I hope you can enjoy it with me for a little while. So let's get into it. Thank you. We're gonna continue going through the World of Warcraft Cataclysm official strategy guide from Bradygames. Here we can see Naltharion and a bunch of runes. This is in such a good condition. The pages are still really stiff from not being used that much. You can see how hard they are. World of Warcraft Cataclysm official strategy guide. The whole orange section is a beginner's guide, an introduction for new players. And a little bit about that, we are picking the right realm, making your character, taking your first steps, the user interface, controlling your character, quests, and so on. We have some races of the Alliance: Draenei, Dwarf, Gnome, Human, Night Elf, Worgen, and the races of the Horde: Blood Elf, Goblin, Orc, Tauren, Troll, and Undead. We have upgrading to Cataclysm, the world of Azeroth post-Cataclysm, the regions of the Eastern Kingdoms, the regions of Kalimdor, PvP combat, professions and its crafting, gathering, secondary, bestiary, and achievements. An introduction to World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft went online 6 years ago. Players have come to the game in droves, and several expansions and myriad patches have changed the way that World of Warcraft, also known as WoW, is played across the world. Some players might find it daunting to enter a massively multiplayer online game or MMO because there is so much to learn. With years of content experience, it may seem as though WoW is too much to handle if you haven't already started playing. Who is this for? New players should use this section of the guide to learn about the game's background, how to manage your account, and all of the game's basics. Players new to WoW, and especially to online games in general, we get the most from these materials. We have some general questions asked. Why should I play World of Warcraft? What does World of Warcraft have for me? Who will I play with? Addressing common concerns. If you or someone you know would like to try World of Warcraft but have some concerns about joining a massive game, the following pages address many of the questions people have about the game. Is World of Warcraft too complex for me? I don't think anyone is asking themselves that question nowadays. Will I become addicted? Oh, this used to be a problem of mine. Millions of people play, and most of them treat the game like any other hobby. You may have read media reports of World of Warcraft players neglecting their real-life responsibilities with tragic consequences. However, there is nothing uniquely addictive about the World of Warcraft. It offers the same engrossing qualities of any other hobby or pastime. I used to be really addicted during this time, so I don't know about that. What about allowing children to play? Picking the right realm. Millions of people can't all play in the same place or at the same time. As such, World of Warcraft isn't hosted from a single computer. Instead, servers around the world host the many realms where the World of Warcraft is played. Each realm is a separate copy of the game where several thousand people play. Here's about the Tuesday downtime. Blizzard typically uses Tuesdays to perform server maintenance or apply the latest updates, known as patches. This is on Wednesdays now, right? At least here in Europe, or am I dreaming? Here is the realm selection screen, and it talks about the population from new players, low, medium, high and full. Type of realms: normal, PvP, RP, RP, PvP. Oh wow, look. Making your character. The character creation screen. The character creation screen is divided into 3 sections. The left column has all the options needed to build your avatar, the character you control in game. You begin with a random character which appears in the center that you can customize in multiple ways. Races, alliance, horde, gender, class, physical attributes, race history, class description. For more information, if you are most interested in playing a specific faction or race, turn to page 80 for alliance races and 124 for horde races. Oh, here we can see the height of them. The shortest are the gnomes, the dwarves, goblins, human, undead, orc and draenei, tauren, night elf, blood elf, worgen and troll. It's really nice to see them on a height scale. Taking your first steps. Here's how to move your character. Interact with a quest giver. Completing quests. Chat log. Talks about the minimap. Enemies. Combat. How to kill creatures. Talks about the loot and the loot window. Inventory and action bar. This first section, I guess it's this one, the darker one. Here, as you can see in the bottom, is for Cataclysm, and this is an intro to new players. The user interface, using your mouse, cursor symbols, and the game interface, buffs and debuffs. Character portrait. Minimap buttons, more map. Here is about the calendar. The calendar shows upcoming in-game events. These are scheduled events such as the Stranglethorn Fishing Extravaganza and the Darkmoon Fair, as well as seasonal feasts and holidays. So much about the character information. Basic movements. Here's a picture of a keyboard. Which buttons to press. Camera angle, strafing, auto run, quests. Types of quests, how to communicate with other players. Here is some tips how to play raids and dungeons. Pugs. This whole beginner's guide could have been a complete book for itself, I think. Other ways to improve your character. Glyphs. I really miss this glyph window. I think this was such a good addition to the game. Here's the rocket you could get from Recruit a Friend. A lot of information traveling by foot, swimming, flight paths, banks and auction houses. Professions. Customizing the game interface. Just for fun, it says, let's see, it says get a haircut, use training dummies, collect companion pets, socialize, and people gifts, celebrate in-game holidays, attend in-game events, go fishing. Oh, here's the new pores. I love that. You recently got it from the trading post thing. It's the free mount, I guess. Online resources. Oh, look. I've been talking about this in a past video of mine. I had the authenticator. Not the one on the phone, but this little one that you had in your hand. But I throw it away and I miss it so much. I wish I had it. It was such a nice little gadget. And I think it would be really nice to have now and nostalgic to go over. There is remote action house. I guess you could add it on that app on your phone, right? Character services, glossary, oh my god, all the terms. Choosing your character's race. Here's some information about the Draenei. The Draenei are an intelligent and spiritual race who no longer have a home world of their own. They fled both their home planet of Argus and then Outland as well. The Legion, a force of horrible evil, has dogged their effort at every turn. Currently, the Draenei have crash-landed on Azeroth in their capital ship, the Exotar, though their ship's engines have been sabotaged. They are ready and willing to continue battle against evil. Draenei are dedicated to magic and holy light. The Draenei also have a spiritual affinity with the Naru, energy beings who serve the holy light. Draenei are 7 to 8 feet tall with long tails and bipedal hooves. Females have horns of varying shapes and sizes. Males have uniquely cranial and facial features. And the Draenei can be Death Knight, Hunter, Mage, Paladin, Priest, Shaman, and Warrior. Talks about your first day as a Draenei. About the crash site. Dwarf. Dwarves are a hardy people. Do no doubt the living for generations in cold regions, frequently in underground fortresses. Masters of stone and ore, dwarves are equally skilled at building cities and crafting weaponry. Dwarves are treasure seekers, explorers, and courageous fighters. Dwarves are 4 to 5 feet tall, stocky and muscular. Males prize their elaborate beards, and females decorate their hairstyles and piercings. Available races: Death Knights, Hunter, Mage, Paladin, Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior. Your first day as a dwarf in Coldridge Valley. Gnomes. I love the gnomes. Just look at him. He's so cute. I just want to touch his beard. The eccentric gnomes once thrived in Nomergan, a city deep in the mountains beneath Domero. When attacked by trogs, the clever gnomes released toxic radiation against their attackers, and the gnome citizenry as well. The surviving gnomes fled to the city, still sharing their inventions and odd devices with others. They currently use Ironforge, the dwarven capital, as a place of refuge. Gnomish and goblin engineers have such a long-standing rivalry. It's uncertain to outsiders which side is more dangerous to their friends and enemies. Gnomes are approximately 3 feet tall, being the shortest sentient race in Azeroth. They have petite bodies but larger facial features. Gnomes only have 4 fingers per hand. Male and female gnomes are known for their outrageous hair colors. Available classes: Death Knight, Mage, Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. And your first day as a gnome is in Nomergan. I think that was the revamp for Cataclysm, right? You just didn't start out in Coldridge Valley any longer. And the gnomes got their own soundtrack. Human. Let's look at this wonderful female human. Humans are both proud and ambitious, seeking comfort and glory and to change the world around them. Many humans are laborers working in the farms, mines and lumber mills outside of Stormwind, eagerly taking all that nature offers. Humans are also courageous knights, brave on the battlefield and loyal to their comrades. Humans are 5 to 6 feet tall, strong and healthy. Human physical traits vary greatly, with a wide palette of skin and hair colors. Available classes: Death Knight, Hunter, Mage, Paladin, Priest, Rogue, Warlock and Warrior. Your first day as a human in Northshire Valley. Oh, Night Elf. Night Elves are perceived as aloof and solitary, preferring nature to conventional cities and the company of their own kind to that of other races. Rather than using nature as a resource, Night Elves seek to be in the rhythm with the natural world. Night Elves blend magic and the forces of nature for their protection and strength. This belief places Night Elf in a strong opposition to Blood Elves, who have consumed tremendous magic against the flow of nature and who continue to place ambition before reason. Night Elves are approximately 7 feet tall. They are lithe and athletic. All Night Elves have prominent eyebrows and very long ears. Males have elaborate facial hair, and females have facial tattoos. Available classes: Death Knight, Druid, Hunter, Mage, not Paladin, but Priest, Rogue and Warrior. And you start off in Shadow Clan. Worgen. Here's a new race for the expansion. It was once thought that Worgen were evil creatures that came to Azeroth from another dimension. Time has proven this false, and newer knowledge reveals that Worgen are descendants of cursed Night Owl druids. These druids worshipped Goldrin and would take on the form of the wolf. Eventually, this sect lost themselves in madness, and their curse has continued for many generations. The Greymane Worgen are infected with this curse, but they have fought hard to retain themselves and developed a partial cure to this illness. As such, they are not driven toward uncontrolled violence. These Worgen have reached out to the Alliance, forming the 6th member of race of this group. These Worgen are both human and wolf, able to pass between the two forms. They have full control over themselves, but appear as true Worgen when in such a form, growing thick hair and possessing a canine appearance. They can be Death Knight, and this was, I guess they got a little big of backlash because you could make a new character and get max level world first as a Death Knight. But Druid, Hunter, Mage, Priest, Rogue, Warlock and Warrior. And you start off in Gilneas, a city I still hope they will reuse one day. Here are the hordes. Blood Elf. The Blood Elves are named in honor of their high elf ancestors who died during the Scourge invasion of their homeland, Keltalas. Blood Elves seek power through arcane magic, bending to their will to create warped, beautiful surroundings. Fiercely loyal to their race, Blood Elves will do anything to avenge their ancestors and reclaim their magic power. They are survivors hoping to regain glory once again. Those of a weak disposition are unable to control their lust for magic and power. This burns away at their will and turns these elves into a pathetic, weaker version of they once were. Blood elves are 5 to 6 feet tall, slim and wiry. Their hair and skin color reflect their affinity to fire and the sun. All blood elves have prominent eyebrows and long ears. Males have minimal facial hairs, and females have elaborate hair jewelry. And classes: Death Knight, Hunter, Mage, Paladin, Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. You start off at Sunstrider Isle. Goblin. This is what I love the most of any game, is the goblins. They are amazing. Goblins are a creative race that often fails to see the forest for the trees. This might be because they're penchant for cutting down entire swaths of landscape. Many goblins have a fascination with technology and innovative engineering. Often found on neutral ground, many goblins weren't interested in taking sides between the Horde and the Alliance. There isn't much profit in the choice because it closes out a huge market from the other side. However, recent developments in the world have made it impossible for all of the goblins to sit down on the sidelines. As such, some have joined the Horde and are ready to lend their innovations to the cause. Goblins are tiny creatures, though gnomes still push them out for the title of smallest fry. These green-skinned people have long ears and equally impressive arms for their size. They can be Death Knight, Hunter, Mage, Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior. They start out at the KTC headquarters at Kazan, and then they get to the Lost Isles. Orcs are large and terrifying to their enemies, but after numerous wars the orcs seek peace and return to their shamanistic heritage. Thrall, their great warchief, led these people to Durotar, chosen due to its desolate climate and isolated position. Due to their warring heritage, orcs are courageous on the battlefield. They are also hardy people, seeking new paths to glory and honor. Orcs are approximately 6 feet tall with muscular physiques. Males have very long and unusual facial hair. Females have eclectic hairstyles and unusual piercings. All orcs have some variation of green skin. They can be Death Knight, Hunter, Mage, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior. And they start off at Valley of Trials. Tauren. The Tauren are a spiritual and nomadic race, wandering the plains for survival and seeking the will of the Earth Mother. Though inherently peaceful, hunting skills are prized as being part of the natural order. Tribal in nature, the Tauren have united under the rule of Bane Bloodhoof in majestic Thunderbluff. Tauren are 6 to 7 feet tall with very large bulk and weight. Tauren have long tails, bipedal hooves, and only 3 fingers per hand. Both male and females have horns of varying size and shape. They can be Death Knight, Druid, Hunter, Paladin, Priest, Shaman, and Warrior. And they start out at Camp Narache. Troll. The Darkspear Troll fled Stranglethorn Vale after generations of wars with other troll tribes and invaders. The orcs offered the trolls a new homeland in Durotar. Senjin village is named in honor of the trolls' fallen leader. This was the temporary settling point for their thralls, but they've now pushed out the Echo Isles, just off the Durotar coastline. Trolls are wild. From living in the jungle, they are also superstitious due to the tribe's spiritual practices. They are 7 to 8 feet tall, the tallest race in Azeroth. Males frequently squat in place, but females do not. Trolls have 3 fingers per hand and 2 toes per foot. Both males and females have a variety of tusk styles and wild hairstyles. They can be Death Knight, Druid, Hunter, Mage, Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, Warrior. And they start out at Darkspear Isle. Undead. A renegade group of undead broke away from the Scourge army and the rule of the Lich King. Led by Sylvanas Windrunner, this group of undead called themselves the Forsaken. Hated by the living but unwilling to return to the control of the Lich King, the Forsaken wage a continuous battle for their independent survival. They didn't choose on death, but they see that it has its benefits. Forsaken are 5 to 6 feet tall, scrawny and gaunt. Their skin is deteriorating and their hair is unkempt. Both males and females have a variety of decomposing features. They can be Death Knight, Hunter, Mage, Priest, Rogue, Warlock and Warrior. They start out at Shadow Grave. Here's some choosing a class and the different classes and what they do. Beyond the fall of the Lich King. With the Horde and the Alliance focused on the Lich King and the Scourge in Northrend, an ancient evil stirs essentially undetected in the South Seas. Deathwing, the Lord of the Black Dragonflight, and one of the 5 great dragon aspects, has finally awoken to confront those who only defeated him. His return sends out massive waves of devastation that violently reshape the continents of Kalindor and Eastern Kingdoms. Talks about upgrading to Cataclysm, loss of portals, high-level zones, world dungeons, and raids. And the different zones, what levels you go to where. The max level was in Aldum and in Twilight Islands, was it called, right? Changes to your character. Inscription got the biggest changes within the professions. A new profession, archaeology. Oh, I love this one. Archaeology is a secondary profession. It is all about exploration and uncovering the past. With archaeology, you collect fragments from every zone in the game, although you can't dig on Draenor or on Northrend right away, and assemble the pieces into a restored piece. There are a handful of fun rewards to earn from archaeology, and you can earn some experience points each time you unearth fragments from the past. I really enjoyed archaeology. New reputations: Guardians of Hyjal, Ramkahen, Earthen Ring, Barasane, Paradin's Warden in Tulbarat, and Hellscream's Reach. Wildhammer Clan, Dragonmaw Clan. Talks about guilds, what type of guild, finding a guild, how to create a guild. The world of Azeroth post-Cataclysm. The Abyssal Depths. This is in Vashir. The Vashir contained 3 different clusters of zones. Here is changes to Arathi Highlands, Badlands. There is the really fun quest with the drunkards talking about when they met Deathwing. Blasted Lands, Burning Steppes, Deadwind Pass, Dunmerrow, Duskwood, Eastern Plaguelands, Elwyn Forest, Eversong Woods, Ghostlands, Galesbrad Foothills, Ironforge, Isle of Quel'Danas, Kelpthar Forest. This is the first region you go to in Vashir. I made an ASMR video on this zone because I love this so much, the whole of Vashir I mean. Where you could go through the three zones. It's really nice underwater zone. Loch Modan, Northern Stranglethorn, Redridge Mountains, ruins of Gilneas, Searing Gorge, Shimmering Expanse. This is the 3rd region for Vashir. You can see these buildings, they are demigods, big underwater creatures that the Twilight Hammer's cultists are using as temples. Silvermoon City, Silverpine Forest, Stormwind, Swamp of Sorrows, the Cape of Stranglethorn, the Hinterlands, Tirisfal Glades, Tulbarad Peninsula. Tulbarad was the PvP island. I really loved Tulbarad and the entire mystery around Tulbarad. It was originally a prison island where people just went crazy, and even to the lore now it's kind of shady, like why was it all gods or something else. I really miss that about the game, the old unexplained mysteries that made the world so vast. Twilight Highlands, this was also one of the late game zones where you leveled to max level from 84 to 85 I think. Undercity, Western Plaguelands, Westfall, Wetlands, Ashenvale. This is the zones of Kalimdor, Ashara, Azure-Mist Isle, Blood-Mist Isle, Darkshore. Darkshore got a lot of changes that I know people did not enjoy, and it used to be really beautiful. Maybe I should do a video where I compare classic Darkshore to after Cataclysm Darkshore, and that would be really nice, maybe a bit nostalgic for you. Darnassus, Desolus, Durotar, Duskwallow March, Fellwood, Ferolas, Moonglade, Mount Hyjal, Mulgore, Northern Barrens, Ogrimmar, Silithus, Southern Barrens, Stone Talon Mountains, Tanaris, Teldrassil, the Exodar, Thousand Needles. This was also a zone that got the most changes in vanilla. All of these were, what do you call it? It's a canyon, right? Not a desert. But after Cataclysm, this got filled with water. Thunderbluff, Uldum. This is a zone I love so much. Uldum was really great. It has its Egyptian vibes, and I love the quest and archaeology and all of that. Maybe I'm getting a bit too personal now, but before choosing my current career path, I actually applied to a university to become an archaeologist, and I got an apartment. I had it all fixed, but due to some personal reasons I was not able to move, and I still regret that to this day. And maybe in the future I will change my career and become an archaeologist instead of what I am now. Angoro Crater, Winter Spring, Deep Holm. This was also a really amazing new zone with the Earth Mother. And around the circle 2 times I missed Eunax, the rare spawn that drops a mount. And I had been camping all night, and when someone else got it, I got so buttered. But that is still a mount I really want to have in game, but I don't have the time any longer to camp all night. The Lost Isles. Here is the second place the goblins go to after losing their homelands. And here is about the changes to the classes. Here is about the Death Knight and their abilities. And the Druids. Druids are true hybrids and the masters of shapeshifting. All of the spells and how to play. Hunter are the sole non-magical range damage dealers. Really, can all of the order classes be hunters? They have changed that now. Gnomes can be hunters as well. The pages are so slippery. They are just escaping my hands. Mages are known for dealing large doses of indirect damage from a distance, while also being capable of damage multiple enemies at once with their numerous AoE spells. Paladins. Paladins are survivors and protectors able to fulfill any role in the world of Warcraft. They can be both healer, tank and DPS. Just like druids, I guess. Priests harness the power of holy and shadow magic. They changed that now to void magic, right? I loved PvPing as a discipline priest in Cataclysm. I think the discipline priests were really good back then because you had this was before they removed mana burn. That was really good. I wish they still had that, but it was viewed as OP, but why would you even play a priest now? Rogue specialize in melee combat, whether it's through steady dose of control damage or spiky burst of damage. All three talent trees are dedicated to creating a dual-wielding killing machine. Shamans are masters of nature and elemental magic. They are a hybrid class that can play multiple roles with vastly different playstyles. I think there's a bit way too much information about every class and the changes, but I'm just happy it's not like with the older official strategy guides that it's every single talent by themselves. Warlocks are powerful casters who delve into the arts of dark magic. And the warlock abilities. I hope the sun is not too bothersome. It's getting late in the evening, so it's a bit hard to record. Warrior are the masters of melee combat. Warrior can either be disciplined, versatile combat fighters, furious raging berserkers, or the stalwart protector of your foes. I think this guide booklet or official strategy guide had more information for new players than any changes. But I guess that's because the game got really easier by this time. PvP combat, dueling, PvP servers, and PvP currency. Here's about PvP combat. Gives different tips on what to use for PvP for every class again. But the pictures are lovely. It's with old faces that you know I love. This warrior set is really nice. Can't remember the name of it. Battlegrounds, rated battlegrounds, arenas. Here's the different 10 versus 10s battlegrounds. We have Warzone Gulch, Twin Peaks, Battle for Gilneas. These two are new ones. Here's 15 versus 15, Heart of the Basin, Eye of the Storm, Strand of the Ancients. This is removed by now. And 40 versus 40, Isle of Conquest and Alterac Valley, and the outdoor PvP zone Tulbarat Peninsula. The professions. Each character can learn 2 major professions and as many secondary professions as are available in the game. The modes of character progression are optional. You can avoid them entirely if you want. However, there are advantages to having these skills. Many professions let you craft items for yourself and others. Making your own gear can be kind of fun. Mastering various tiers of a profession also grant various bonuses, so even heavy combat characters have something to gain. Becoming an apprentice, increasing your skill level. Complementary professions. For alchemy, herbalism and fishing is good. Blacksmithing, mining, enchanting, tailoring, engineering, mining. Herbalism, alchemy or inscription, herbalism, jewel crafting, mining, leatherworking, skinning, mining, blacksmithing, engineering, jewel crafting, skinning, leatherworking and tailoring, anything. Here's the basics of alchemy. Alchemy is one of the easier crafting professions to pick up and learn. If you want to be self-sufficient, pair alchemy with herbalism so you can gather your own materials. The main component to alchemy are herbs and vials, other items that are required for specific creations, but for the most part is herbs and flasks. Blacksmithing. Blacksmithing is the shaping of bars, gems and stone and trade goods into armor and melee weapons. At low levels, blacksmiths are also turn stones uncovered by miners into temporary weapon enchantments. Oh, new recipes for Cataclysm. And enchanting. Enchanting recipes add various buffs to your weapons and armor, such as improved statics for your character or procs with random effects to your weapon. Engineering. Engineering creates a variety of items such as goggles, explosives, ranged weapons, scopes, bombs, and mechanical animals. Creating different items with engineering requires a handful of tools, most of which are created by engineers. Inscription. Scribes create glyphs, scrolls, cards, and other paper and book items with paper purchased from trade vendors and inks. To create inks, scribes automatically learn milling, which turns herbs into pigments, and other inscription abilities turn the pigments into ink. Jewel crafting. Initially, jewel crafters create the wire and setting necessary to craft low-level rings and necklaces. Then start making rings, necklaces, and other random items. A jeweler's kit is required, but is it available at a trivial cost from a trade vendor? At higher skill levels, jewel crafters learn how to cut gems that provide statistical bonuses to socketed equipment. Leatherworking. Leatherworking uses leather and hides gathered from slain beasts to create different pieces of armor and kits that boost armor in different ways. There are no special tools required for leatherworking. Wow. A lot of items. Tailoring. Tailoring creates cloth armor, shirts, bags and other items out of different types of cloth. Cloth are available as drops from humanoid and many undead enemies, and the silks drops by spiders are often required for some patterns as well. Tailors also learn how to improve various types of cloth. These improved pieces of cloth are when used to create a more powerful equipment, including special types of spell threads that act as enchantment for leg armor. Herbalism. Herbalism is the harvesting of herbs from plants, nodes, and from some enemies, usually elemental enemies that look like walking vegetation, which have some affinity with nature. Mining. With mining, you extract ore, gems, and in lower level stones from raw material, metal veins, deposits, and from some enemies, usually rocky elemental creatures. These materials are used primarily in jewel crafting, blacksmithing, and engineering. A mining pick, or any item that acts as a mining pick, is required to mine. Skinning. Skinners are able to harvest the leather and hides from slain beasts. After slaying a beast and looting it, assuming it's a skinnable creature, your mouse cursor changes into an animal hide when you mouse over it. A skinning knife or another item that acts as a skinning knife is required for skinning. However, you don't need to equip your item, just keep it in your backpack. And here's the new profession, secondary profession for this expansion, and that is archaeology and the basics of archaeology. The new secondary profession, archaeology, is all about exploring and uncovering the past. There are 2 steps in the archaeological process. First, you visit dig sites around Azeroth and Draenor and use surveying to locate and unearth artifact fragments or items from various cultures. After collecting enough pieces, you assemble them into a restored piece. Unlike other gathering skills, dig sites are player specific. There is no competition for artifact fragments between players. Other players searching at the same dig sites are uncovering their own fragments. And it's practicing archaeology. Open your world map and look for the small shovel icons that appear around the world. There should be up to 4 zones appropriate to your character's level per continent: Eastern Kingdoms, Kalimdor, Draenor, and Northrend, that include active dig sites for you. And you have a dwarf bonus. Dwarves have a racial ability, Explorer, which increases their archaeology skill by 15 and allows them to survey faster than others. I did not know about that. I wonder if it's still in game. Cooking. Cooking turns various items, raw meat and fish, flour and spider parts, to name a few, into food which restores health and even conveys short-term buffs to various statistics. Cooking requires a heat source of some type, such as a stove or cooking fire. The text is really small. First aid. Oh, I miss first aid. When they removed it in Legion, I was so sad. First aid was so fun to farm. It was really grindy. First aid enables you to create bandages which are used to restore health and antidotes to remove poisons. Bandages are created from cloth drops in the game, and they can be used outside of combat or even while in the middle of it. Bandages can be used on yourself, other players, or pets. Fishing. I love fishing as well. It's so good, it's so nice. Just look at that big fishing pole. Fishing allows you to cast your line into any puddle of water deep enough and see what you bring up. You can catch fish, of course, but you may also catch other marine life, junk or treasure. A fishing pole is required, but unlike other professions, you must equip it. Fishing poles are considered two-hand weapons in order to do some fishing. Oh, the bestiary. Whether you're discovering new zones or revisiting older parts of the world to observe the changes brought by Deathwing's return, you're sure to encounter creatures with revised appearance and completely new types of human, beast and other creature. New mounts, camel and seahorse. Some of the creatures introduced in Cataclysm functions as mounts. To obtain a seahorse mount, you must spend some time completing quests in Vashir. Look for camel mounts in the sands of Uldum. The locals there offer you to sell you one if you improve your reputation with them enough. And here's a seahorse mount, Deep Murloc. These distant cousins of the amphibious murlocs found throughout Azeroth are completely aquatic. They inhabit the deepest reaches of the zone found in Vashira, Abyssal Depths, Kelfdal Forest and Shimmering Expanse. And the Jinn. There are few known Jinn to date. You encounter one throughout Uldum, but you must wait for a trip to the lost city of Tulvir to actually battle against one. Elementals. Elementals aren't new, but the events of the Cataclysm opened the way for more of them to appear. These elementals have an entirely new look and are found throughout the world. Some of these elementals are aggressive, but others act as allies. If you wish to learn more about what drives these elementals, spend time in Deepholm. Erin. You won't find many of these two-headed creatures around the world. A small number infest Redridge Mountains, and a larger clan has taken up residence among ogres in Twiland Highlands. Erins are really amazing. I love everything that has with ogres and trolls and that kind of stuff in fairy tales and stories. Hobgoblin. This brutish humanoid often appear in the company of goblins around Kazan. You can feel reasonably confident that any action taken by hobgoblins are on the orders of another goblin. They just aren't that bright of creatures. Gilblins. Gilblins are relatives of goblins who have adapted to life underwater. The adaptations that allow Gilblins to survive the aquatic life has apparently drained some of their higher brain functions. Their actions are guided almost entirely by greed. They lack any of the intelligence and skill displays at time by the goblin found on land. Pygmy. The pygmies which appear on Kazan are much less dangerous version of what you can encounter in Uldum and the lost city of Tulvir, but they are just as wild and untamed. There's a good chance they will be first creature you will encounter in Uldum, but they don't exactly roll out the welcome wagon for you. Most pygmies stick up to crude weapons, but a handful have picked up tribal magic and assumed the role of witch doctor. Stone Trog. Trogs are an ancient foe of the dwarves, as the groups often compete over areas since they have similar tastes in environments for their homes. As their rock-like appearance suggests, stone trogs are much tougher than the trogs encountered around Dunrow and Lochmordan. They continue to use primitive weapons such as clubs, but their warriors are augmented by a handful of spellcasters who can call upon the elements in various ways. Stone trogs appear throughout Deepholm and the halls of origination. Tulvir. The lands of Uldum is covered with a desert and populated by centaur-like people known as the Tulvir. The tribes of Tulvir are often at war with each other, presenting you with an opportunity to carry the flavor of the Ramkahan at the expense of their enemies, the Neferet. You won't need to look hard in Oldham to find Tolvir, and you should also expect to find it throughout the lost city of Tolvir. Then we have Twilight Hammer Cult. The Twilight Hammer cult's influence has spread from its original locations in and around Black Venom Deeps and Blackrock Mountain. You can find nearly every humanoid race from Azeroth among their ranks. Their members are well versed in various forms of combat, both melee and magical. Their initiates have spread into Ashara, while their highest level members infest Mount Hyjal and Deepholm. New beasts. While the following information should be of interest to everyone exploring the world, hunters should really pay attention here. The beasts have broken down by new family type, and there are tameable examples of each. We have beetles, birds, dogs, foxes, monkeys, and shale spider. There's some information lastly about achievements. Achievements are different ways to show what you have accomplished in World of Warcraft. To see a full list of achievements, click on the icon in the interface bar or press the letter Y. This area lists thousands of in-game achievements. You get them for almost anything you can imagine. They are awarded in PvP, seasonal activities, dungeons, while souling, etc. The list is mind-blowing. While achievements will lead to improved weapons or armor, they do provide special titles, companion pets, and mounts. Sometimes you get a reward for getting a certain achievement, while others require you to unlock a set of achievements. They take an entire year to earn. Achievements are in the game purely for fun. Love them or leave them, but these achievements are not supposed to make or break your day. They give you an awesome way to smell the roses while exploring the world. There are different types of achievements for general quests, exploration, player versus player, dungeon and raids, profession, reputation, world events, guilds, and feat of strength. Feat of strength achievements are generally awarded from one-time occurrences, such as logging in during an anniversary celebration, obtaining a collector's edition pet, or being a part of a leading arena team for a specific season. Other feat of strength are the result of changes to the game which remove the ability to earn some achievements. You can see here are some of the achievements, and that was it. Some credits. There on the last side we can see World of Warcraft official magazine. Subscribe now. Every issue features interviews, community, strategy, lore and more. Deluxe high quality collectibles, massive 148 pages, no ads, specially commissioned artwork available nowhere else. And here we have the New York Times bestseller, The Shattering, by Christy Golden. I read this book. It's quite nice. And there on the end, you can see a lovely picture of goblins. The goblin rogue and a death knight, I guess. Engineer and a mage. That was really nice. This was a really thick book, and they changed quite a lot how they used from. Now I previously done the official strategy guides for Vanilla, the Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King, and this Cataclysm formula, I guess, I don't know what to call it, but how they tweaked, how they wrote about everything. It's not as much lore or history or what is going on in the new zone, so that's a bit of a shame. But I hope you enjoyed this one ASMR video, and I hope the sun wasn't too bothersome. I hope to see you in the next video.